Let's dive right into it and show why Pay It is as simple as it sounds. Most often, customers use the same card to make payments. Rather than having to go through the checkout process, entering your card details every time you want to make a payment, we've fast-tracked this process by allowing the customer to save their card for any future uses. So, let's go to a customer and add a card. We'll use a Datum Corporation. Pay It has added this new list, and it's called Pay It Methods. Here you will see Datum has a whole bunch of credit cards already saved. So let's add a new one. You'll be presented a page that describes about the PCI compliance, and it's important to note that Pay It does not store any raw data of the card itself. Let's enter in a card number. And that's it. You've now saved a credit card. We'll give it a name so you're able to distinguish it from the other methods. We'll call it James's card. Now we'll go into more detail about setting the card as default, but it's important to note that this can significantly increase your checkout time. We'll set it as a default. And you can see here that James's card is now part of the list. So now that a Datum Corporation has a saved credit card, let's go ahead and start making payments. To keep it simple, let's sell some goods using a sales order. We'll create a new order with the Datum Corporation, and we'll give it some lines. Pay It only adds one additional step to your sales order processing, and that is the Pay It method. And we've even done it for you. Because we set James's card as default, it has already been auto-populated. So now we can go ahead and make the transaction with this card. We'll ship an invoice. And it's as simple as that. We can go to the posted invoice to see whether the transaction was processed correctly with Pay It. And that's by this field here. If you drill down on yes, this will show the paid entries page, which represents the payment. And if you scroll across, you'll see that it has a transaction ID, and this is the ID that's returned back from Stripe. In some cases, your customer wants to make a one-off payment and prefers not to store their card in Business Central for future use. So unlike the process you saw before, we're not actually going to define a Pay It method before posting. We'll use the registered customer payments as a good example. Here you can see that we've got 3 orders that are ready to be registered. So again, we'll use the Stripe CC payment method to represent that we're going to pay for credit card. And we do want to update all lines because we're going to do a lump payment. So Pay It's integrated with the standard functionality where we can create lump payments. It has auto defaulted to the customer's Pay It method. So we're going to remove this for all the lines. And we're now ready to post. So because we're using a one-off card, the checkout page appears and you'll see where you can enter in your card number. You also have the option of saving the card during checkout. So you don't have to go to the customer card if the customer has decided to save it this time. But in this case, we aren't going to save it. There we go. The lines have been posted as you cannot see them in the registered customer payments. Now we haven't forgotten about shop fronts. With Pay It, you can meet your customers where they are. We've already gone ahead and registered a reader in Business Central, so we'll go create another sales order so then we can take an in-person payment. We'll use an existing sales order that I've created. So this time we're going to change the payment method to reader. And like you saw with the payment methods and the list of credit cards, this time it's actually going to show us the readers. Now I've created the reader front counter. So we'll select that and we'll send the payment to this front counter reader. Let's say a Dame Corporation wants to make a prepayment. So we'll set it as 10%. We'll post the prepayment. And you're presented with the reader checkout wizard. This is where the payment will be sent, and we've included some awesome graphics so then you can see what the reader device is showing directly in Business Central. I'll go ahead and tap the card. And just like that, you've now accepted an in-person payment using your physical card. So the last payment method type is payment links. And this is becoming a very popular and trending way to accept payments for businesses. So in order to do this, we'll use the same sales order, but this time we'll change the payment method to one that represents payment links. We'll post the remaining amount of the order. And we'll open the posted invoice page. So you can see via the payment link field that there is a payment link out there that the customer can click on and accept a payment. So there's two ways a user can do this, and that's either by clicking on the PDF report, or we can send out an email. So for this case, we'll send out an email. But for the demonstration, we won't leave Business Central and we'll only preview the email. And here we are inside the message email body. We can click on the link and this will take you to Stripe's checkout page. So it's quite bland at the moment because I haven't personalized it, but you can put your own branding and your own company logo and colors to personalize it to your needs. So I'll enter in some card details. And the payment's been processed. So we can return back to Business Central. We'll discard this email because we know we've now paid it. And to complete the payment processing procedure, we can either manually click it by hitting the post payment link. So before I do, you will see that pay it paid is set to no. And now that I've posted it, we can see that it's synced with Stripe and everything has been reconciled. So this can also occur in a job queue, so you don't actually have to manually click this every time you want to sync. So I showed you how it works with emails. Let's see how it looks with the reports. So we'll preview the sales invoice report, and with our good looking document, here you can find the payment link. Just like the emails, the customer can select this link and go ahead accepting payments. With Pay It, payment processing has never been so simple.